What a weekend of racing we've got to look forward to. And hopefully here on the Punters Guide, we can put you in the way of a few winners. Joel's been in good form so far this season. Can Frankie step up to the plate? As we record, fingers crossed, we get the go-ahead on Saturday. Potentially, maybe looking ahead to Sunday as well with the news, obviously, recently. There's an inspection Friday afternoon. But Frankie, hopefully you're in for a great weekend. We started the week very fortunate to be in the area down at Jackdaw's Castle. Just what an amazing time we had there, and hopefully we can end the week and say with Cheltenham being on.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It was a picture perfect morning down there, really, wasn't it? For all that the cold, frosty weather is a pain in the ass for getting racing, behind the scenes and in the yards, well, we had a bit of sun come through in the morning. It was a nice, fresh morning. Horses were out. I think we saw 5 lots work, didn't we? Loads of young horses down at John Joe's 120 they've got down there now. And it was brilliant to chat to the team and see it all in action, really. And feel that buzz being a local stable towards a festival.
We half expect to see Joel and his budgie smugglers in the equine solarium.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant listening to this, lads. Yeah, just give us a shout when you're finished, all right? You know, it's a bit like, what did you get for Christmas? Oh, look what I got. What did you get? Oh, I got an apple and an orange and a stocking. Oh, Jesus. Sending me the photos, the videos, John Joe making you cups of tea, giving you all his time. What a nice guy. Oh, here we go. Okay, thanks for the invite.
You're having a great time at work.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks very much. My heart bleeds.
Right, Trials Day, probably the best days racing outside of the festival. Let's get stuck in. We've got 9 race card, 5 at ITV at Cheltenham, 3 at Doncaster as well. So let's look ahead to them. We'll start with you, Joel. The Clarence House Chase, rescued from Ascot, of course. It looked a match, still looks a match. Got a big field now, a big field of 6, but it is still the champion Ergomen versus the pretender Edwardstone.
Well, it's a 2-horse race, isn't it? We talked about this last week. Energy de Gite, I think he's brilliant. Supplementing that or entering the horse. 3rd prize money. That's what you're getting from that. And it's there on its merits now, really. It's a Grade 2 winner. So it's there on its merits. But it is the match we all want, an Ergomen versus Edwardstone. An Ergomen probably 1-2, something like that. Edwardstone 9-4, 2-1, something like that. I've got to stick in the Edwardstone camp because everybody I've listened to so far, and I'm happy to be wrong, just at the prices as well. An Ergomen, it'll smash Edwardstone. There's people jumping off the Edwardstone bandwagon now after they didn't work well in the first place, after that fall at Kempton. And I just want to see a really good race. And I think at the prices, I don't think there's a lot between them. And people will say, there's a lot. But visually, and you take that last fall away, which is a bizarre unseat, or it went down as an unseat, but I know what happened. No idea what happened.
No chance, had it?
Just no chance whatsoever. So at the prices, and I'm happy to be wrong, but I think I'm sticking with Edwardstone in the camp there.
Yeah, I mean, the £6 officially between them. But for me, Edwardstone has probably had, I was talking about this to somebody else, probably had the tougher races and has probably beaten more than an Ergomen. I think he's 18 rivals, his last 5 wins in Ergomen has been. Edwardstone, I think, has had the tougher races on these shores and was very impressive in the Tingle Creek. Are you with the pretender, Frankie?
I am, and I think the race you've got to go and watch is the Arkle last year. Edwardstone is fantastic round Cheltenham. He's got so much speed. He'll jump those last 2 fences superbly as he did. He's really good at taking a fence when they start to hit top speed. And I kind of echoing what Joel said. He's got a tough task in his hands, but he represents the value for me. If you want to have a bet in this race, I think it's got to be with Edwardstone. For me personally, if I had my money down, I'd be very disappointed if he got put to bed by an Ergomen. I'd say fair enough. We got done at 2-1 if it's close and you're in with a chance of going to win. So from a betting perspective, I think he represents massive value. They're way closer than the market suggests. He's done nothing wrong, in my opinion, and he's a really exciting horse, so he deserves his shot.
Yeah, unanimous then for Edwardstone. Right, let's move on to the 150. It's the 300th 2.5-mile handicap chase we've got at Cheltenham this season. We've got the Paddy Power, the December Gold Cup, the New Year's Day one. It's another one. Cool Cody's back for more. But I'm going to talk to both of you. Obviously, I think you both like to say you both come down on the same horse. We'll start with you though this time, Frankie.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it. Phoenix Way, I think, is a real interesting runner. Second at Chepstow after 241 days off behind, Fugitive won that race, who tops the market here. It's a massive swing of the weights between the pair of them, but you've got to go and watch that race back. It was a eye-catching ride, to say the least. I mean, Phoenix Way's here, Fugitive's here. They've both kicked, but Phoenix Way's absolutely carved through the field. He's just never going to catch Fugitive, because Fugitive has also finished his race really strongly. And from the point that they both decide to quicken, he's about 20 lengths in front. So the pair of them absolutely demolished what was in front of them, but kind of together. Now there's a huge swing in the weights, and if you've only got to look back to what he did before, off a mark of around 140, won round Ascot, Class 2, he was second behind Anne Salmon in Class 1. He's got the class, he's got the quality, and he will improve for the run. And as I said, for me, it was an eye-catching run at Chepstow after a break. So yeah, he ticks a lot of boxes. I think it's an exciting one at around, well, definitely an each-way price you'll get.
Yeah, double figures and some as well. Phoenix Way, fourth at Chepstow, Silver Hallmark and Fugitive all returning. Joel, are you in the Phoenix Way camp as well?
Yeah, 100% the JP colours. I watched the Ascot race from January. It's grade 2 over 2 miles 5 this morning, where he beats the Destraval horse and Larry as well. But are you ready for a geeky stat for you as I'm going through all of these? Because, I'm proper old school, so I've got all the papers and whatever, my little notes. Raced 3 times in January. How many times has he won in January?
3. Go on, Joe. Tell us it's 3.
It's 3. So there you go. So if today is a going day, and that run last time as well wasn't massive, knocked about, but who did he beat? He beat a horse in this race, and he was beaten by a horse in this race as well. I think Fugitive won it. And I think it was
Fugitive
4.
won it.
Yeah.
Silver Hallmarks in here as well.
Yeah. I think it's a decent each way price. You can run this race a million times. It just depends who's up for it. But of all the handicaps this weekend, I think it's a decent each way bet.
Yeah, you understand. Phoenix Way in the 150. The 225, the Cotswold Chase over the Gold Cup trip, almost the Gold Cup trip anyhow. And Protectorat Noble Yates putting their Gold Cup claims on the line. We'll start this time with you, Joel, and the Cotswold.
Yeah, Protectorat. I was so against that horse. I thought it was like one of them flimsy, speedy, little rear ratty types, and it's got rat in the name. Being at Haydock, watching it in person, it was unbelievable. And I'm not dropping names here, but I spoke to Sir Alex Ferguson about it afterwards. And he said, "Yes, son, it was a good day." So that's what I got out of him. yeah, that was that.
Did he say that with a nod and now opening his mouth?
Very much like, I saw you, dear boy, you interrupted me with a glass of wine. I think Protectorat wins. I was so impressed that day at Haydock, and never a fan, and obviously Appletar didn't show up. But I don't want to see Noble Yates and Protectorat have a really hard race, because if Protectorat is a Gold Cup horse, you want to stay with the Gold Cup. It's not that he won't be trying, because the Skeltons are pretty much always trying, unless you're called Langer Den. Protectorat, I think it's a solid. What? It's right. You can say that because it's true. Take me to court. But this will be trying for its life. Protectorat, I think it's solid.
Yeah, I agree. Between Protectorat and Noble Yates, I know he's improving, but he's beaten in the handicap on this card. On the ultimate, well beaten. And I take his improving with a pinch of salt. Yes, I know he's won a Grand National. There's nothing race at Wexford. Obviously, I know he won a well at Aintree, but they can pick holes in that. Former Hoist Seniors back from over. I think he jumps well enough. Sounds Russian's got work to do to turn the form around when Noble Yates. Protectorat beat Frodan out of sight at Ada. I think it's Protectorat. I think his price, Frank, I'm not a favourite backer, but I think his price is quite tasty. It's held up by Noble Yates.
Big for Frankie's price.
It's very fair. I think the reason Noble Yates, and maybe I'll be proved wrong, but the reason that Noble Yates is as short as he is the amount of clips that will be going around on Twitter and Instagram, and that crop of that final fence at Aintree when he looks like he's going 100 miles an hour. But he, as we mentioned, he hasn't actually beaten loads. And yes, it was a great turn of foot over a staying trip. But was he made to look better than he actually is against the competition? And I think that final fence and the run up to the line has probably shortened him up, and maybe a little bit more than the class that he actually is. I think Protectorat is very fair. And again, going back to festival form, third in a Gold Cup, you can't argue with that. And then winning the Betfred Chase again. Appletar was in the race, didn't run a great race, and he hasn't beaten loads, but he's done his job. He was impressive. He's very strong. He's got Cheltenham form. He's got Gold Cup form. He's the best of the English chances for the Gold Cup, and he should go and win this en route.
Yeah, unanimous then. Protectorate in the Cotswold Chase. Now, I know we're going to disagree on the Cleve Hurdle. We'll start with you, though, Frankie. History beckoning, Paisley Park going for a 4th win in the race.
How can we disagree with Paisley Park? So I've got to hear the argument against him. He's in as good a form as ever. I mean, we know that he doesn't run his best when he's fresh, and he's come a very, very short neck second to Champ. And Champ does go well fresh and was in good form and ready for Newbury. He's then won at Kempton, a track where lots of people said that might not suit him, and he actually ended up winning easily enough. This is his backyard. He's won it 3 times. He's good at Cheltenham. He runs well in this race and this time of year. I know he's 11, but there's no signs of him slowing down. You're going to get a scare when the race starts. You're going to get a scare when he comes off the bridle, but that happens every time he runs and every time he wins. I cannot see why you wouldn't back Paisley Park. He ticks every box, and I'd love to hear why we're not backing him. Put it that way.
No, I'm not. Look, I love it.
5-4.
No, exactly. That is the point.
It's 5-4. That's the thing. Like, it's a lovely horse, lovely owner. You see, I've written him off, retired him so many times, and I love that turn of foot. Oh, he's getting there. Now he's still got a furlong to make up here, and that brilliant race where he gets there, and you go, oh my God! And when he was, just done by Champ, and you go, I would have retired that horse 3 years ago, But the price puts me off, Matt. I don't know.
He's 5-4, right? But Dasher Drasher and Gelino Bello aren't exactly each way prices. I mean, if you want to back something that's 10-1, I'd say fair enough, and you get money if it places and a chance at a win. But backing Gelino Bello at 4s, if it comes second, you're getting nothing. And the same for Dasher Drasher. You've got to be thinking that they're going to beat him.
Well, there's more horses in the race there, Frankie.
Well, there we go.
I guarantee. I guarantee, because you work a lot more than me, and you don't work 4 hours a day. You get home at 10 o'clock in the morning and start watching gold tweets on grainy YouTube videos with French commentary. Have you seen this horse, by the way? The French horse that's in this. I just put on my notes, staying hurdlers wanted, apply within. Look, this horse looks really good on the flat in between the obstacles, and he's cruising and cruising. He doesn't jump like a fridge. It might be the French way of jumping, but he looks like he's going to be cut in half. I mean, it's weird. If you get the opportunity to watch it, if we were playing him running here, you go, he's cruising, but then he's all out, and it might be the jock. I don't know. He's 33-1, so we'll see what happens. But I'll take a bash at Dash or Drasher. He's got to go from the front. I think that's 6 lengths behind Mari's Rock. Is decent. Backed in for the Ryanair last year, didn't go. And have a go at the front. It's going to be. He's probably setting the race up for Paisley anyway. But again, it's a price play for me, like Energamen and Edwardstone and Dash or Drasher, 7-2, 4-1. There's no point backing it each way. Let's just have a little pop.
Yeah, I love the horse. I really hope he goes out there and makes history. But it's just the way he runs, and I'm not sure if he is still at his best. He's been beating the same horses. I don't think Kempton was his track. He proved me wrong again. But every horse has his price, and I just think he's far too short. So I'm not sure if his best days, or he is in as good as form as ever. But where have we seen Paul Nicholls bring a horse back to a stays hurdle after a fall last time out?
Yeah, Gelino Bello would probably be the.
That's just that. I mean,
the eye-catching one.
Yeah, well, he's doing a big bucks, of course. And why is he going down this run? He's got McFabulous over the staying hurdle. He jumped all right before that, Gelino Bello. I just think it's intriguing.
Well, did he win at Aintree? The Sefton.
He won the 3 mile, the Sefton at Aintree. Yeah, the 3 mile of beating Gentleman at Arms. So that'll be my way of playing. I hope Paisley Park goes and wins it, but I just can't be backing him at 5-4. Right, the Classic Novices Hurdle, the 3:35. This is decent, isn't it? A dozen heading to post here. Loads still in, of course, of maybe thinking of the Ballymore at the festival. The Skelton's here again with Pembroke, Henry Daly's Blenkinsop. Interesting as well. And Nicholls, he's got the Winter Novices Hurdle with Henri the second. Where am I going this time? Joel, I think, starts this time.
I think I was. I thought I was on something here, but everything else has drifted, and this has also been back from 20s when they chalked it up into 7s, which I think is about the right price now. Sid Hosey and Rock My Way, second to We've All Been Caught on debut at Cheltenham on New Year's Day. It was 66-1 that day. 66-1 that day, and I thought at one point was going to win. The rules debut at Cheltenham. the big thing is tracker. But I think everybody did that. Jumped beautifully. You couldn't pick any holes in that. Even the Racing Post said promising. So that cool. We agree on something. Yeah, it was 20s for probably a few quid earlier this week. Into 7s now, which I think is probably the right price. And again, if you stick that with Mullins or the old cliche Mullins, Henderson, Nichols, Skelton, you're getting half the price of that. So good luck, Sid, this weekend. You had a few quid on, and Rock My Way runs a big race for you, pal.
You paid £4.20 for the paper just to say promising.
Yeah, too right. Too right.
Frankie, good race.
I agree with Joel, actually, with everything he said, really. The form behind we've all been caught, the fact that it would be shorter if it was with one of the big trainers. I think that was the first race of 2023. Nige was there, Willie was there, Sam was riding, and Sam threw the absolute kitchen sink at We've All Been Caught to get that up. He wanted to win that race, and they think a lot of that horse at home, and they really wanted to win that race and see that horse do what they thought it could, and they went miles clear of third, the pair of them. And I think if it wasn't for Sam, the Rock My Way could have got up, but Sam just absolutely did everything he could to find the line that day, and that for me that form is well worth a bet coming back here to Cheltenham. So I agree with Joel. Rock My Way represents a bit of value. Good each way bet.
Good. I agree then. Yeah, Rock My Way. It was our first start on the rules, of course, at a massive price. Interesting. Right, quick look at Doncaster. The mayor said this shouldn't take long. Epitons to lose, Frankie?
Yeah, pretty boring, isn't it? Not much else to say. She seems as good as ever. She's just been running behind Constitution Hill, and not to take the limelight away from her again, but it's probably another vote.
Connie Hill to you.
Connie Hill, yeah, my old mate Connie Hill. Yeah, another vote in the box of Connie Hill, where if she goes and demolishes this field, and then he's been demolishing, then yeah, we're looking at the same sort of story.
We're still on.
Joe, I paused there and saw Joel's face and thought, I've got to finish what I started.
Before he finishes it for you.
Yeah, he's been gelded.
Oh God. Yeah. Well, there we go. Yeah, that's the story for the Mezzotonic.
Joel?
I'm saying nothing. Epitome wins. Been beaten by Honeysuckle, Mari's Rock, Stormy Island, Connie Hill twice, destroyed by Connie Hill. Let's be honest. It's a lovely race to watch, but there's no else in there. I haven't got an alternative. However, the temptation is, and this is probably a warning, that the bookies will give you a distance bet on this, and I wouldn't take that because it doesn't win by far.
No.
And there's all silly things like wins over by 10 lengths, even money, and you're going whatever. I think I reached the limit of 3 lengths, 2.75 lengths if you're going down that route. But
Nicholas not going to give her a hard race, is he? If he can.
No, not at all. He'll set up after the final fence, look between his legs, like what he sees, and Epitone will just cruise home.
Unlike Connie Hill. Right, the River Don, 3 miles. This always throws up a surprise. It's 3 miles on good ground, but it always seems to be really testing. We're looking at Albert Bartlett Hopes. The greatest respect to them. Slow horses generally. John McConnell won this race last year. He's got Grand Swar coming over. He'll stay. Donald McCain's got Maximilian, but Paul Nichols, Saddle stay away. Ben Pauling's won 3 of the last 7, by the way. And he's got Twig. He's been running over fences, but Bo Morgan can't claim. Generally, this throws up a few strange ones. Frankie?
Yes, I'm going with the Twisters again. Don't know how you quite pronounce this one, but Adalco by who? Third in the Challo that Hermes Allen won. That was savage ground that day. Hermes Allen set a real tough pace throughout. I think more than half the field pulled up. You'd have to be quite a tough horse to see that out. That was over, it's 2.5, isn't it, the Challo? Looks like he wants to step up and trip. Was a tough horse. Finished his race well enough for me. And this could be nice for him. As you said, 3 miles and testing. So, yeah, I'm with the Tristan Davis.
We've got to see a good run from Adalco Bahue, Frankie, because he won his point-to-point and falling 2 out in that point-to-point on upsides was a Betfred horse play to Getaway.
No.
Yeah. So, yeah, 3rd in the Challo. I was quite chuffed with that. More to come, by the way, in the coming weeks on play to Getaway. Joel, 10 of them going to post. So do you see a shock here?
No, have you got the betting up? Because, again, it's one of those races where everything is drifting and there's one horse being backed.
At the time of recording.
That is. At time of recording, Grand
John
Soir.
McConnell, surely, yeah.
Yeah. Look, it's off the back of 3 wins in Ireland. And I looked at the races before. I tell you what, Simon Torrens is he's not riding, by the way. I'm going to big him up and then say there's a claim wrong. Conditional. Simon Torrens is a great jock. You know, I know JP won't be using him if he was like dog. But he's such a strong jock. I really, really like him. This horse stays on strongly, and he's given the AP treatment. The race I watched, the final one in Ireland that he won. I think the commentator said he bungled the last, and he did a little bit. And it was just solid. He responds. Ben Harvey's coming over. He takes off the £7, and purely. Because you said this throws up ridiculous results, purely on the money and the trainer and a decent claimer. It won't be a best bet, but it's worth me £2.50 each way if I can get 9-2, 5-1, something like that.
Right, okay. Then the Irish. He went to the Irish last year, John McConnell, of course, with Marlon Mission. Ben Harvey rode to victory this week. Right, the Sky Bet Chase, the Great Yorkshire Chase, the 3:15. Joel, we'll start with you here. 12 go to post. Incredibly, last year's first and third, Windsor Avenue and Captain Ord are back for more. Incredibly, both of them lowering the handicap. Captain Ord, some training performance that, Joel.
I still think Captain Ord needs another couple of runs. I think he's got bigger fish.
Couple of quiet runs.
Yeah, a couple of quiet runs. I saw Christian Williams, the Scarecrow, on the TV at the weekend, and he was saying, you know, oh yeah, they're ready to run, but you know, I don't know if they're fully fit yet. I mean, Jesus, they've not been fully fit for 2 years. Christian, come on. So I'm not sure that's the day, but he has jumped up Jack Tudor already. He was one of the first trainers to put that there. You've seen the one in here. You know, we've had a nap already this year. The lady in question was in Ireland at time recording, and Thursday did now in the ladies race. Lily Pinchen from the front, tea for free, cut and paste the 2-minute monologue that I did last time. All collect into sixes, tea for free. And if you want to forecast, one of my favourite horses runs in here for Kerry Lee. He was ready to go. Not Kerry Lee, the horse. The Machine, by the way. The Machine. Workable mark. But tea for free. Keep backing this horse until he gets beat.
He ran this race last year, The Machine. Tom Lee's a bit worried about him staying. If he stays stays a 3 mile. Tea for free, 4 from 4 offences. I love this favourite, Garlow. I think he's definitely a graded horse. He's 12 stone to carry. He's only 7's a slight concern, but I think he'll race in 3 miles. Again, I'm not a favourite backer, but I think he's going to be really hard to beat. So Garlow for me, tea for free for Joel. Frankie and the Sky Bet. I
agree, Garlow's your worthy favourite. I wouldn't be so strong on anything. I came down on Mr. Coffee at an each way price. Should be in the mixer. Has come second about 100 times. I'm sure this horse has got to win a race like this soon. It's one of those that I'm following, and provided you get an each way price, I wouldn't be put off having another go. A good second at Chepstow after a break, and just always thought this horse has got a little bit more than it's shown. It's been unlucky a few times, so I'm hoping he can get his head in front this time. But if it places at 9s, it's happy days anyway.
Certainly will be, yeah. Hoping Nico gives it the beans, eh? Right. Before we get the best bets, obviously we've done the ITV races. Is there anything, the really good cards at Cheltenham and Doncaster? I mean, we've got the Triumph Trial, another couple of good handicaps across country, good handicaps to conclude. Is there anything else other than the best bets we're going to do in a minute that you just want to mention, Joel?
No, but I'm going to pass on to him. Delta work. Oh, Delta work. Oh, Delta work. Frankie.
Delta work. But that's the best bet, Joel. That's the best bet as well. So there's nothing else besides Delta work being the best bet. I can't understand. Why is this? For me, this is a 6-4 shot. I don't get it. Yeah, it's got to carry 12 stone, but carried 11 stone 9 round 4 miles or whatever for the national. And then one in Punchestown carrying 11 stone 9 as well. And has a £7 claimer on. Doesn't have to worry about protecting his mark for the festival cross country because they run off level weights. He won that race at the festival. I don't understand it. This should be far shorter, in my opinion, and then should go and win. The only way that this goes wrong is if Rob James gets lost going round the cross country fences. But besides that, it wins.
Brilliant. The only way it loses if he goes. He can't go the wrong way. David Russell's proven you can't go the wrong way around the cross country.
Was it the Czechoslovakian jockey? Was it on a Polish jockey or whatever it was? It was like really fancy thing. Yeah. He's going that way. Oh, lads, finish him off that way.
Provided that doesn't happen, I think this wins.
Right. Delta at the best bet. Joel, what's your best bet? What's going on at Jebel Ali?
Well, look, you've taken the mic. We're a 4 from 4 now since January started. Frankie wasn't here last week. He threw a sickie. Old sick note. HMS Seahorse did the business. You go, where are you going? I'm going to Nace. Now the book's coming out. Right. Now, this is the riskiest one I've had so far. How do I say this? If this horse was a car, it'd have to go to Quick Fit because I believe there may be a problem with the handbrake. It just keeps staying on. now, bear in mind, if it's got this sorted, right? So Noel Feely Racing Syndicate have a horse called Awesome Foursome. It's entered twice at the weekend, but I'm told it's going to run on Sunday, 2:30 at Fontwell. We've changed the times of the race. I think we're down at 2:15, but the race now is at 2:30. Awesome Foursome. So won his bumper on debut by Nose, 20-1 at Worcester, and it's had 3 quiet runs. And it's the second time today I'm going to agree with the Racing Post. Now, bearing in mind, you can go and have a look at it, and your pal Sam Twiston Davis was on it this day, and we know what a strong jockey is. Better than midfield. And it really wasn't. Surprisingly, the horse has been well handicapped, and I'm assured that this weekend, I think you'll find his form. No idea of the price. Did I say that without getting sued?
I hope so. We'll find out. It's in the post. Yeah. Awesome Foursome on Saturday.
Awesome Foursome Saturday.
It's been to Quick Fit.
Sunday or Saturday?
Sunday.
Sorry. Yeah.
Cool. Like it. Very much left of centre field. It's a great weekend. Cracking weekend. We'll review it all, anything that happens, whether it's Saturday or whether it's Sunday. Cheltenham and the boys will be back with me on a Monday to review trials. It'll be a busy show because there'll be loads to dissect as well. And at Doncaster. And of course, next we'll be building up to the Dublin Racing Festival. Hopefully, we're pointing you in the direction of a few winners this weekend, wherever you're back in. Best of luck.